Chapter 6, Conservation of Plants and Animals. We saw in class 7 that Paheli and Bujo had visited the forest along with Professor Ahmad and Tibu. They were eager to share their experiences with their classmates. Other children in the class were also eager to share their experiences, as some of them had visited Bharatpur Sanctuary. Some others had heard about Kaziranga National Park, Lokachu Wildlife Sanctuary, Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve and Tiger Reserve, etc. 6.1 Deforestation and its causes. A great variety of plants and animals exist on earth. They are essential for the well-being and survival of mankind. Today, a major threat to survival of these organisms is deforestation. We know that deforestation means clearing of forests and using that land for other purposes. Trees in the forest are cut for some of the purposes mentioned below. Procuring land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furniture or using wood as fuel. Some natural causes of deforestation are forest fires and severe droughts. Activity 6.1. Add more causes of deforestation to your list and classify them into natural and man-made. 6.2. Consequences of deforestation. Paheli and Bujo recall the consequences of deforestation. They remembered that deforestation increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. It increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Groundwater level also gets lower. They know that deforestation disturbs the balance in the nature. They were told by Professor Ahmad that if cutting of trees continues, rainfall and the fertility of the soil will decrease. Moreover, there will be increased chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts. Recall that the plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, resulting in its increased amount in the temperature. This will lead to global warming as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. The increase in temperature on the earth disturbs the water cycle and may reduce rainfall. This could cause droughts. Deforestation is a major cause which leads to change in soil properties. Physical properties of the soil get affected by plantation and vegetation. Recall from the class 7 how trees prevent soil erosion. Fewer trees result in more soil erosion. Removal of the top layer of the soil exposes the lower, hard and rocky layers. This soil has less humus and is less fertile. Gradually, the fertile land gets converted into deserts. It is called desertification. Deforestation also leads to a decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. The movement of water from the soil surface into the ground infiltration rate is reduced. So, there are floods. The other properties of the soil like nutrient content, texture, etc. also change because of deforestation. We have studied in class 7 that we get many products from forest. List these products. Will we face shortage of these products if we continue cutting trees? Activity 6.2. Animal life is also affected by the deforestation. How? List the points and discuss them in your class. 6.3. Conservation of forest and wildlife. Having become aware of the effects of deforestation, Paheli and Bujo are worried. They go to Professor Ahmad and ask him how forest and wildlife can be saved. Biosphere is that part of the earth in which living organisms exist or which supports life. Biological diversity or biodiversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationship and their relationship with the environment. Professor Ahmad organizes a visit to a biosphere reserve for Paheli, Bujo and their classmates. He selects a place named Pachamari Biosphere Reserve. He knows that the plants and animals found here are similar to those of the upper Himalayan peaks and to those belonging to the lower Western Ghats. Professor Ahmed believes that the biodiversity found here is unique. He requests the Madhavji, a forest employee, to guide the children inside the biosphere reserve. He explained that preserving areas of such biological importance make them a part of our national heritage. Madhavji explains to the children that apart from our personal efforts and efforts of the society, government agencies also take care of the forest and animals. The government lays down rules, methods, and policies to protect and conserve them. Wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are protected areas for conservation of plants and animals. Government agencies also take care of the forest and animals. The government lays down rules, methods, and policies to protect and conserve them. Wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are protected areas for conservation of plants and animals present in that area. Activity 6.3. Find out the number of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves in your district, state, and country. Record in the table 6.1. Show these areas in an outline of map of your state and India. 6.4. Biosphere Reserve. Children along with Professor Ahmed and Madhavji enter the Biosphere Reserve area. Madhavji explains that Biosphere Reserves are the areas meant for conservation of biodiversity. As you are aware that biodiversity is the variety of plants, animals, and microorganisms generally found in an area. The Biosphere Reserves help to maintain the biodiversity and culture of that area. A biosphere reserve may also contain other protected areas in it. The Pachamari Biosphere Reserve consists of one national park named Satpura and two wildlife sanctuaries named Bori and Pachamari. Activity 6.4. List the factors disturbing the biodiversity of your area. Some of these factors and human activities may disturb the biodiversity unknowingly. List these human activities. How can these be checked? Discuss in your class and write a brief report in your notebook. 6.5. Flora and fauna. As the children walk around the biosphere reserve, they appreciate the green wealth of the forest. They are very happy to see tall teak trees and animals inside the forest. Suddenly Paheli finds a rabbit and wants to catch it. She starts running after it. Professor Ahmed stops her. He explains that animals are comfortable and happy in their own habitat. We should not disturb them. Madhavji explains that some animals and plants typically belong to a particular area. The plants and animals found in a particular area are termed flora and fauna respectively of that area. Activity 6.5. Try to identify the flora and fauna of your area and list them. 6.6. Endemic species. Soon the group quietly enters the deep forest. Children are surprised to see a very big squirrel. This squirrel has a big fluffy tail. They are very curious to know about it. Madhavji tells them that this is known as the giant squirrel and is endemic to this area. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are not naturally found anywhere else. A particular type of animal or plant may be endemic to a zone, a state, or a country. Madhavji shows sour and wild mango, figure 6.3a, as two examples of the endemic flora of the Pachamari Biosphere Reserve. Bison, Indian giant squirrel, and flying squirrel are endemic fauna of this area. Professor Ahmed explains that the destruction of their habitat, increasing population, and introduction of new species may affect the natural habitat of endemic species and endanger their existence. Species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the members of a species can reproduce fertile offspring only with the members of their own species and not with the members of other species. Members of a species have common characteristics. Find out activity 6.6. Find out the endemic plants and animals of the region where you live. 6.7 Wildlife Sanctuary. Soon Paheli sees a board with Pachmari Wildlife Sanctuary. Written on it, Professor Ahmad explains that killing or poaching or capturing animals in general is strictly prohibited and punishable by law in all such places. Wildlife sanctuary like reserve forest provided protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. He also tells them that people living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing by their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood, etc. Some of the threatened wild animals like black buck, white-eyed buck, elephant, golden cat, pink-headed duck, gharial, marsh, crocodile, python, rhinoceros, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. Indian sanctuaries have unique landscapes, broad level forests, mountain forest and bushlands in deltas of big rivers. It is a pity that even protected forests are not safe because people living in neighborhood encroach upon them and destroy them. Children are reminded of their visit to the zoo. They recall that zoos are also places where animals receive protection. Activity 6.7. Visit a nearby zoo. Observe the conditions provided to the animals where they are suitable for the animals. Can animals live in an artificial setting instead of their natural habitat? In your opinion, will the animals be comfortable in a zoo or in their natural habitat? 6.8 National Park. On the roadside there was another board on which was written Satpura National Park. Children were now eager to go there. Madhavji tells them that these reserves are large and diverse enough to protect whole sets of ecosystems. They preserve flora, fauna, landscape and historic objects of an era. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. The finest Indian teak is found in this forest. There are more than 100 national parks in India. Rock shelters are also found inside the Satpura National Park. These are evidences of prehistoric human life in these jungles. These give us an idea of the life of primitive people. Rock paintings are found in these shelters. A total of 55 rock shelters have been identified in Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. Figures of animals and men fighting, hunting, dancing and playing musical instruments are depicted in these paintings. Many tribals still live in the area. As children move ahead, they see a board with Satpura Tiger Reserve written on it. Madhavji explains that Project Tiger was launched by the government to protect the tigers in the country. The objective of this project was to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population in the country. Tiger figure 6.4 is one of the many species which are slowly disappearing from our forest, but the Satpura Tiger Reserve is unique in the sense that a significant increase in population of tigers has been seen here. Once upon a time, animals like lions, elephants, wild buffaloes and Barasinga were also found in the Satpura National Park. Animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as the endangered animals. Buzo is reminded of the dinosaurs which became extinct a long time ago. Survival of some animals has become difficult because of disturbances in their natural habitat. Professor Ahmad tells them that in order to protect plants and animals, strict rules are imposed in all national parks. Human activities such as grazing, poaching, hunting, capturing of animals, or collection of firewood, medicinal plants, etc. are not allowed. Madhavji tells Paheli that small animals are much more in danger of becoming extinct than the bigger animals. At times, we kill snakes, frogs, lizards, bats, and owls ruthlessly without realizing their importance in the ecosystem. By killing them, we are harming ourselves. They might be small in size, but their role in the ecosystem cannot be ignored. They form part of food chains and food webs about which you learn in class 7th. An ecosystem is made up of all the plants, animals, and microorganisms in an area, along with non-living components such as climate, soil, river, deltas, etc. 6.9 Red Data Book. Professor Ahmed explains about Red Data Book to the children. He tells them that Red Data Book is the source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. Red Data Book is maintained internationally by an organization. India also maintains Red Data Book for plants and animals found in India. 6.10 Migration. The excursion party then enters deeper into the forest under the guidance of Madhavji. They sit near the Tawa reservoir to relax for some time. Paheli observe some of the birds near the river. Madhavji tells the children that these are migratory birds. These birds have flown here from other parts of the world. Migratory birds fly to far away areas every year during a particular time because of climatic changes. They fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. Birds who cover long distances to reach another land are known as migratory birds, as Paheli learned in class 7th. 6.11 Recycling of paper. Professor Ahmed draws attention of the children to another cause of deforestation. He tells them that it takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. Therefore, we should save paper. Professor Ahmed also tells that paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. If each student saves at least 1 sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. We should reuse paper and recycle it. By this, we not only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. 6.12 Reforestation. Professor Ahmed suggests that the answer to deforestation is reforestation. Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be of the same species which were found in that forest. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut. Reforestation can take place naturally also if the deforested area is left undisturbed. It re-establishes itself. In natural reforestation, there is no role of human beings. We have already caused a tremendous damage to our forest. If we have retain our green wealth for future generations, plantation of more trees is the only option. Professor Ahmed told them that in India we have the Forest Conservation Act. This act is aimed at preservation and conservation of natural forest and meeting the basic needs of the people living in or near the forest. After some rest, Madhavji asked children to start heading back because it is not advisable to stay in the jungle after sunset. On getting back, Professor Ahmed and children thanked Madhavji for guiding them through this exciting experience. Thank you.